Devoice, your tracks today.
I got the burner on me.
What up, YouTube? It's your boy Ace Deuce here. I'd like to welcome y'all to the Average Man Podcast. This is the first episode. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Finally got the time to do it. Finally got the things I needed. Got my mind together, so now I'm ready to go ahead and let it go. On this channel or in this podcast, is mainly going to be talking about man's perspective, man's feelings, um, and basically the champion of men. I'm not going to leave out the black woman. Not going to leave her out at all. Definitely going to champion her too. But I'm going to keep it as real and as straightforward as possible. Um, if you know me, then you know that's what I do best. But that's neither here nor there. So today's topic is going to be about a man's psyche after a breakup or during a separation or a divorce. Um, there are men out there who hasn't been hurt, who has these type of feelings that need someone to speak or need to talk to someone or have a conversation. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to do. Teach you guys some lessons about that, how you're supposed to work through that without stepping on landmines and the things that come along with it, like children, assets, and things of that nature. For me, it was mainly for my son. I am still currently married, but I am separated, and I've been separated for over 10 years now, or just about 10 years. Um, right shortly after my son was born. So, and there were times that I didn't know where I was going, what I was doing, or how I was going to make it. Because for me, uh, I have never been on my own at that time. And it's crazy to say that that was around the age when I was in my mid 30s. I'm 46. Am I 46? What is this, 2005? Yes, I'm 46 now. So that was 10 years ago. Um, and that mind and that frame of not being on my own at the time or never been on my own, always lived with somebody, to take that leap and that step to be out there to do that was a huge thing. It was also scary at the same time, um, not knowing whether or not I can maintain it on my own when I've been maintaining this entire time, but not recognizing it as because I was with someone. I was living with my wife at the time. So, and excuse me, the separation was on me. It wasn't on her. There was no infidelity. There was no cheating, and there was no lying. There was different aspects in there that made it. It kind of made it unbecoming to try to go through, to try to live through, to try to work out. Um, and I know that most men would champion, hey, you stay in there, you stick through it, you work it out for better or for worse, to death do us part. But at the same time, you you don't want to have a household raising children and it's hostile. You don't want to pass that on to them that this is how it's supposed to be. Not saying that you can take out arguments and fights and disagreements of that, because that's going to happen within a relationship or marriage. It's going to happen. But there are other things that come into play to where it's just like, this is not what I want to teach my children. This is not what I want to keep moving forward and making it seem that it's okay to do. Not at all. That's not something that I want to do, and that's not something I was willing to do. So I decided to step away from that situation. Um, but before that, there were counseling that took place. There were conversations that took place, but none of that seemed to have helped. Um, or gotten past the beginning stages to actually dive deep into it until after or during the separation. Um, for me and my wife, we went to counseling before any of that was a consideration, and we only went one time, and it didn't work out in her behalf. So she didn't want to go and do that again. She wanted to try to find her own therapist to sit down and talk to. And she did that. And she had that going for a while. I wasn't a part of it. I didn't sit down with it. That was for her and her alone. Um, but when it got to the separation part, I wanted to do my best to make sure that she understood that I'm still going to be here because we have children together. I still consider us family, but not immediate family to where we are still being husband and wife underneath one roof. I couldn't do it anymore. I didn't want to do it anymore, um, but I still wanted a healthy family relationship or dynamic to show the children that if it ever came to this, then this is an option as well, and not always messy or being hateful or spiteful or petty to one another. That it can work out if both parties can come to a agreement and an understanding of what this is now, and not what it used to be. So to go back to the counseling during the separation, I went to it. And I thought it was an understanding with the counselor that I was only going to be here for a little while, that I wasn't going to attend all of them. I'm here to help her get over the fact that our marriage is over and this is where we're going to be moving forward. Um, Apparently, I was the only one who knew that that was going on because I related to her to relate to the therapist since it was her therapist. So we get about four deep, and I get to asking, so how much longer do I have to keep coming to these? And he was like, yeah, it was a he, wasn't a she, it was a he. There's a black man, older black man. And he was saying that he was under the impression that we were trying to work it out, that we were trying to work through our problems in the marriage. And I looked at him and was like, nah, that's not what this is. This is for me to help her and assist her getting over the fact that our marriage is over and we're not going to be able to do this anymore, but we can still be family. I'll still take care of my duties. I'll still take care of the kids. I still do what I need to do. I still pay for certain things for you, like car insurance, health insurance, necessities like that. I'll still take care of for you because you are the mother of my children. You are taking care of them, and you need to be taken care of as well. Um, didn't feel the need to try to be on child support or none of that because I'm an active father who's in his children's lives on a daily basis. Sometimes, maybe not on a daily basis due to work schedule or things that I have going on, but I will always try to make sure that they were implemented in everything that I did. Um, I coach basketball, so I always bring them to those. I ride motorcycles and I go to car meets and things of that. So I always try to bring them out to that, especially my son. I'm trying to teach him, the stages of becoming from a boy to a man. He's only 10, but this is a good time for him to get to know that and get taught those type of lessons and things so that way he doesn't have to learn it later on and down the life where he can avoid some of the mistakes and some of the issues that I ran into growing up. So, um, but back to the separation thing. So left, was gone for about a year. Um, And after that year, we thought that maybe we could take a shot at trying to work it out. Yeah, no, that didn't work. Didn't last long. And I knew that we shouldn't have done that. So left again. This time I'm gone. During the time that I'm gone and during that time, unfortunately, I did something that we wasn't supposed to be doing, and that's still sleeping with each other because we figure, hey, we still married, this, that, fourth, and the other. We don't have to go out and try. It's literally right there. All we gotta do is just call. And that is a mistake. Let me tell you now, gentlemen, that is a mistake. If you ever get to that point to where you are separated and you know that it's not going to work out, don't do sex. Find somebody else. Do it with them, because having sex with someone who is or was your significant other is a mental and emotional thing for them. For you, it's just getting one off, but for them, it is a mental and emotional thing that tells them that we are still here, we can work this out, we can be together. And you can't do that if that's not what you're doing. You have to cut that off. And then at a certain point, if it starts to get disrespectful after that, because that's been cut off and there's nothing there to hold you guys together, um, emotionally, sexually, then it starts to become an issue, to where you guys will be at each other's neck, calling each other names and disrespecting each other. If you get to that point, then you got to cut everything off. You have to cut all communication off, and you have to only deal with one form of communication if possible, and that's text message, but only, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, only talk about the children, picking them up, school things, dropping them off, going places, vacation, things of that nature. You only talk about that. You don't talk about anything else. Mine wanted to know ins and outs of my sex life, who I was sleeping with, this, that, forth, and the other. And like I told her, when I decided to leave you, I lost all obligations to know what your personal and sex life is. I don't want to know, and I'm not going to tell you. I would get asked this a lot, but I would always change the subject. I chuckle, laugh, shake my head, change the subject. Um, they don't like that because they want to know stuff. They want to know what you're doing, whether they tell you what they're doing or not. They want to know what you're doing. So I don't do that, and I suggest, if, and I don't want people to have to go through this, but if you have to, these are the things you have to do in order to keep your peace. If not, then you'll be in chaos the entire time. It won't matter. It'll almost feel like y'all still together, but just living in separate houses as separate residents. But still, it's the same shit. Mine got a little deep not too long ago due to the fact of that. Um, I can go into detail about it, but not on this episode. Not going to go into detail. That'll be a story for another time. Um, Hopefully, not too long from now. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long on it, but there's a complete story that goes with that, and I'm definitely gonna divulge that information, but just not now. We're gonna stay on topic. So I didn't have no one to talk to except my mother. I had a couple of homeboys, but because they wasn't in the type of relationship that I was in, which was marriage, it really couldn't get no advice from them because they haven't been through it, they haven't experienced it, so they can't tell me what I can feel, how I'm supposed to feel, what's the angle, what's the end game, or anything like that. So I couldn't ask those guys. But I had one guy, um, that's been a real good friend of mine, 27, 30 years. Been knowing him a long time. He's been through it. So I had to get some advice from him as far as how I'm supposed to handle this, if I'm handling it right. If I'm wrong, tell me where I'm wrong at. If I'm right, tell me what's the next level, what's the next steps, what's the next move, or at least give me some type of idea about it so I can grasp my own path and how to take it. Um, that was tiring. That was trying. There was a lot of times that I was emotionally drained, on top of being physically drained of working and trying to make sure that I have an income coming in to support what I need to support. Um, Very tiring, very draining. But talking to him, going through it with him, helped me navigate certain waters and stay away from certain things. From off of the strength of what he was doing and what he did, didn't work out. So not going to travel down that path. Going to find a different way about it. I did that, and it still did not. I want to say it worked for the better part of 7 6 7 years, but this last year, yeah, nah, all that shit went out the window. Um, And there were certain things that were done and said about me that wasn't true, and I had to defend myself upon it. I had to try to be a not petty person, but a man who can weather the storm and get through it okay on the other side, simply because I have younger people of me watching me do this and handle myself and see what my character is, whether it's going to break or I'm going to still stand 10 toes down. And I'm standing 10 toes down on all my decisions that I make, good or bad, mainly good. The bad ones, hey, still stand 10 toes down on it. So I went through a little, accident that put me back, and I needed some help. Asked for the help, got the help. The help didn't like how the way I was living, so then the help decided it wanted to crash out, and that's exactly what it did. Crash the fuck out. And after you crash out, there's no coming back. For me, on a crash out, can't do it. Not gonna do it. I got some cousins and that are now entering into the world of marriage and things of that, and I'm trying to help them and guide them with that too. Not telling them to separate, divorce, or leave their girl. None of that. Just basically letting them know that, and to get to her in order to make sure she's okay and know how to talk to her and everything, you have to make sure you talk to her and she understands. You can't just say some shit and think she's gonna understand. She's not gonna understand. You really have to make sure she understands. You have to make her feel that you know and that you're doing it. You have to make her feel it. You can't tell her, you have to make her feel it. Because once you make her feel it, then I guarantee you she's gonna be all in with you. No doubt whatsoever. I've never had a problem doing that because I'm straightforward. So I tell them that. I'm guiding them through that. And I'm also letting them know that it's not good on the other end when or if you have to separate or divorce. It's going to drive you crazy. It's going to drive you nuts. It's going to be emotionally, physically draining. But that's not something you want to visit right now. What you really want to do is make sure you doing the best you can as a man to work through whatever issues you guys got and still be there and stay there. So that's mainly, what I guide them on, give them insight on, tell them take a look at from their lens. Even though you're looking through yours, it's always good to know what the other side is seeing too, so that way you can coexist with each other. Coexisting is all you want. That and peace. And she has to be your peace. If she's not your peace, then you need to try to get her on the same page, the understanding that she is your peace, and this is how you would like your peace. She tells you how she like things, you do it. Take her out on dates, vacations, go places, pay for things. Make sure she's okay. Let her know this is how you can do it to make sure I get my peace. So I'm okay with what I'm doing for you. And I can continue to do it because you give me my peace. Not talking down on anybody, but peace is what a man ultimately looks for. That's what he wants. He want to make sure his girl is able to give him that peace and sustain that peace and make sure he's okay when he comes home after battling out there in them streets. So that's what I try and guide and coach them on. Um, it's it's not an ideal situation to separate because you think you're gonna be with this person for a long time. Then you're gonna be with them forever. Then they start to show you a side that you seen, but wondering when they're going to grow out of it and get to the adult part of it. And they can't seem to get there. They don't want to get there. They want to stay in that area to where they think that was the greatest time of their life and they think that time should last forever. It doesn't. It doesn't. Not when you have a family and a husband or a wife. It None of that shit exists anymore. It's time to be adults and it's time to live and act as if we're adults. We can still have fun, still go out, still do those things, but it can't be the main thing that you're doing all the time. You have to make sure you stay focused on teaching the little ones on how the way to navigate through this world, not say fuck it and think they're supposed to figure it out on their own. They're not. It may have happened to you, but You got to stop the buck there so it doesn't happen to your children because you don't want to see them go through that. And that's where I was. That's where she wasn't. She'll probably see the shit, but I don't care. You already know how I feel. You already know what it is. You already know how I get them. I am where I am, and I am who I am. And I'm stand on it. I'm gonna be there. Period. Ain't that what y'all say? Period. Fuck all that period shit. Facts. I'm gonna be there. So these are the type of discussions I'll be having on here. Now that's just my perspective and my point of view of it, how you can navigate through it and how you can work it. But not everybody is the same. Not everybody reacts the same. Not everybody can do the same. So y'all tell me in the comments. Let me know if I'm talking about something or I'm just rambling on about nothing. Because I'm just making points on how the way I went through it, what I had to go through, what I dealt with, what my mindset was, where my psyche was. There was many times I was depressed. Didn't go outside, didn't leave the house, didn't conversate with nobody, didn't hang out with nobody, trying to make sure I was getting to where I needed to be in order to be out there. There was no rebounder. There was no bunch of chicks around the house hanging out, and there was a bunch of people at the house. There was no partying. It was more trying to gather my shit together so I can be what I need to be and do what I need to do. Um, and here I am. I'm still living, still surviving. Got a roof over my head. You know what I'm saying? Got food in the refrigerator, got gas in the tank, so it took a long time to be able to get to that comfortability spot, but that's just some things you got to do. Sometimes it's best to just cut your fucking losses and start the fuck over. It's not that it's not that easy, but it's always the best option to do. Maybe hard, maybe tough, but it's always the best option to do. And you always got an option. That may not be your only option, but you always got an option. What I refuse to do is take anything with me to where I got to fight over or I got to say that this was mine. I had this. Man, keep that shit. I'll get something else. I'll get something else. I'll start over. So, um, I've never had the issue of being on child support. I never had the issue of her damaging the relationship between me and the kids. Me and the kids have our relationship. Her and the kids have their relationship. Um, so I kind of won, but in some of the instances I didn't. And I'm not afraid to say so. Um, so what keeps me going today is more so of me living for my son. That's what I live for. That's my heart. I love him to death. I do anything for him, but I'm also going to teach him how to be a man, and what a man is supposed to do and what a man looks like. I'm a walking, talking proof of it. And the only thing I can do is just lead by example. And that's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to continue to do that. I've been doing it. And I'm going to continue to do it. Um, they don't see me as a bad father. I've never been a bad father. I've never been a bad person. I'm a good person. People like me. I got friends from high school who still, say what's up, speak to me, say hi, and always is like, yo, I never had any issues with you. Never, not one time that I felt like we need to fight or anything like that. Because that's just not me. I'm laid back. I'm cool. I'm good. Um, I'm funny. You guys will probably find that out a little bit later on during these conversations I'm gonna have. But I'm gonna have guests on. Um, Not sure what episode gonna have them on, but gonna have a couple of episodes. It's gonna be about the family, um, the pecking order in the family, know where you stand in the family, whether you got pulled or not. That'd be one. Another one would be about family holding secrets that being held from generation to generation, not being told. And then when it is told, it's like, oh man, y'all still holding on to shit from 30 years ago? Ah, that's going to be fun. We're also going to talk about relationships. We're also going to talk about the dating scene. We're also going to be talking about um, what does it used to be called? Social studies. Know what's going on in the world today. A lot of different topics, political topics, black and white topics, things of that nature. So there's going to be all type of topics going on. But the main thing is we're going to champion for men, which is their mental health and their psyche of being a healthy black man out here. How you can do it, how you can achieve it, and how you can maintain it. Um, I'm maintaining it, and I think I should share my stories and history of maintaining the peace. Hopefully, it'll help somebody, reach out somebody. I'm not really sure, but if you guys got anything to say about this video, please put it down in the comments. Like and subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more content based on the topics that I just discussed. Um, or just hear me speak again, hear me talk. I don't know. Whatever floats your boat, cool. Just like and subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments down in the comment section. I'll try my best to get back to you guys, talk to you, make sure I'm interactive with you. But this is your boy Ace Deuce. I appreciate you guys joining me today. Another episode will be coming out soon. Hope you guys join me for that one as well. I'll probably have a guest in. I think I'll bring a guest in instead of just me talking. Who knows? But please like, subscribe to the channel if you want to hear more. It's your boy Ace Deuce. I'm gone.
Purchase your tracks today.
I got the burner on me.